Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and today's video is all about moving away from what was an emotional rollercoaster of a Tuesday and trying to get the head right, forgetting all the things we've been thinking about all week. What if we did this? The ifs, the maybes that's been keeping us staring at the ceiling. We need to push that to one side for a couple more days as it's time to get into our bread and butter, the meat, the main course of our season, which is of course the league, as we face a very tricky test up at Easter Road versus Hibs. And as we continue on with the video, it'll be very brief at the start just to say we are closing in on 56k, a number 56 that's very important when you're going away to an Easter Road. So I just wanted to remind everyone, just in case you are new around here, if you can help the channel out, that would be greatly appreciated. But let's go ahead and dive right in to the oppositional preview and have a look at a Hibs side who at my current time of recording are sitting 6th in the old table. And you know, it's been a bit of an interesting ride so far for Hibs this season. I think that's fair to actually say, and I'm not even just talking about Aidan McGeady signing his Hibs contracts with a pen that comes straight out of nursery. No, that's no what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the embarrassing defeat to Falkirk in the Scottish Cup group stages. I'm talking about getting kicked out the very same competition for fielding an ineligible footballer because Hibs didn't even know their own guy was suspended. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face there for a second. But they also accidentally signed a football player that they didn't want either. They were giving on Twitter the goodbyes, the C's down the roads, the merci beaucoup, no realising that they actually triggered an extension in the player's contract last frickin' season. It's been an absolute mess, ladies and gentlemen, but it's not only been a mess off the park, it's also translated on the park under the new manager, as they've been very hit and miss. Again, slapping Clyde, world beaters, getting beat off Falkirk, on Oz, getting to penalties. It's been a bit of a scenario for them in all honesty, but they come into this game just looking at the SPFL, the league football. How are they getting now that the season's well and truly underway? Well, they've split it, ladies and gentlemen. 3 games, 1 win, 1 draw and 1 loss. The most recent one being in there is that loss as they played last week at the Tony Macaroni versus Livingston and Davy Stonchdale, and they came away with a 2-1 loss and a game of football that, all joking aside and everything like that, they probably deserved more from, ladies and gentlemen. They actually played some nice stuff. They had a lot of shots in the game. They had a lot of opportunities, but they got stung by Livingston thanks to a goal in the last 5 minutes of a game, which is almost what goes around comes around, and just as because of what happened the week before. Their 1 draw so far this season was against obviously rivals Hearts, and a game that Hearts should have been away and outside. They dominated all of it. Then came Boyle, the returning Boyle, by the way, off the bench to nick it in the last minute. So it was almost a that's what you get type of scenario. They got something they didn't deserve versus Hearts, and again they never got what they deserved for that good performance at the Tony Macaroni. But again, it's all balanced as our man Thanos would have wanted. But lastly, as we did mention, they're of course under a new manager and everything like that, and that'll bring its own questions because this is the first time we've faced Hibs under the new gaffer. Have they drastically changed how they go about it? Is the approach different? Is the formation any different? And honestly, no, without being disrespectful to the new manager or anything like that, I think they've got players in that football club who suit a certain way of actual playing, and if I'm honest with you, I think the Hibs board and everything like that went and got a manager that actually fits that system. So anyone expecting anything drastically different will be a little bit disappointed. They are still a tough tackling side that does play quickly, that has real threat with the pace, and also like to get out wide, attack fullbacks and get the ball in the mixer. And of course, with a name I've already previously mentioned in today's video, the returning Martin Boyle, that there does give something for Rangers to actually think about, because we know how Rangers will also approach this game. They'll get everybody forward, they'll pile people forward, and they'll leave a massive gap in behind that already a couple times so far in the SPFL teams have threatened to actually punish. And now you've got a genuine burner there, ladies and gentlemen, that is rapid, that can go and just explode, and who has hurt us in the past. So I don't know if he will start the game, because again he's still finding his feet and he hasn't started yet for Hibs, but if he was ever going to start, it'd probably be this game at Easter Road to run at that back line for Rangers, or again come on from the bench. But that is definitely something they'll be looking to do. Long ball to Boyle, get him running and get him between the massive space between the centre back and the frickin' goalie. McLaughlin will need to definitely have his skates on. And that's all I've really got to say about this Hibs side, if I'm being honest with you. It's a very brief oppositional preview, but again, we've not got too much to actually sink our teeth into and discuss on the actual video. Yes, at some parts they've been very hit and miss. In fact, in some games they've actually been shocking from what I've seen, but in no stretch of the imagination am I expecting Hibs to welcome Rangers and lie over them or not. I expect them to be right at it, given that extra percent that they haven't got in the other games. And again, they will be starting the game with real intensity, which they have done the last couple of times we'll face them, and it's on Rangers to match that intensity. Not at half time, not when someone gets sent off. Match that intensity from the very first whistle. And that right there actually gives me the perfect transition over to the Rangers side of today's video, which of course brings us into a weird situation because we come into this game travelling away to East Road on the back of a 2-2 draw with PSV, which again is a bit mad that we're slightly disappointed by that. You know what I mean? PSV is a fantastic side, some of the players that they've got, but there is just something in here. I don't know if it's because of obviously our blueprint so far in Europe and how fantastic we've been is by winning the home leg. That has been our blueprint and we've never done that, so I don't know if that's sticking in us or the fact that we were winning 2-1 with 10 minutes to go and again conceded through the same BS way we've conceded goals all season long through ridiculous corners that doesn't deserve to be in Sunday League, never mind Champions League. And honestly, that set piece defending is a major talking point in today's video because I'm sitting here with these crazy thoughts in my mind that every single day these coaching staff and everything at Rangers is sitting back at the end of the day going, oh, we've cracked the freaking code. We'd never conceded any corners in training today. We've figured it out. Our problems are over, but they're not realising the reason we're not conceding set pieces in training is because we're absolutely stinking at attacking corners as well. Now that's obviously a wee bit of a tongue-in-cheek joke there through pain and sadness, but at the same time, is it? Is it a joke? Because there is something no right. And the fact that Giovanni has actually addressed the set piece, the zonal and stuff like that this week in the media by saying there won't be any changes to how they line up in set piece defence, so it will stick with the zonal marking and everything like that, despite us being vulnerable every single time someone gets a corner. The only thing he has said is he'll tweak little bits of it, and it's just the tweaking that I really hope does something, because to me, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I think of every single game I've seen, not going into last season, let's just focus on the now, every single game this season from the first half game versus Sunderland in the Stadium of Notlight, we ended up going out there and conceding a goal from a corner all the way to where we stand right now, having played PSV and conceding to them. Every game, no matter the opposition, has had at least one free header, and I really hope these tweaks that we're doing is actually going to fix that, because one of Hibs' strengths is set pieces. They've got a couple of boys there that would headbutt a brick wall and they'll be attacking every ball that comes in. So I hope the tweaking has its say, because if there is one glaring Achilles heel and what is for me a fantastic Rangers side, it's that zonal marking and the set piece defending. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bore anyone with the striker discussion once again, who should start, Cholak or Morelos, because everyone knows where I stand with this one. Expecting too much from the actual side as Giovanni has sort of shot down the potential of rotating the squad heavily to keep everyone for what is probably a must-win game going out there versus PSV to get that. Of course, it is a must-win game. What am I talking about if you want to make the Champions League? The all or nothing. He's kind of shot that down, saying that not only are the team used to this by now, playing in Europe and then playing a big game in the league, they've done it all last season, but also the fact that now they're playing Tuesday and Saturday, they're actually being given an extra day off than what they're actually used to, so the players will be right as rain for the game. So anyone expecting major changes or worrying about loads of changes and maybe fielding out a team that isn't as strong tomorrow versus Hibs, rest assured, Gio says there won't be. I imagine there'll be one or two regarding that, but you're not expecting an entire 11 getting changed out there, so everyone can unclench and frickin' breathe. And the potential lack of changes that we'll see in the game is also gives us the perfect summary of the injury updates and team news now that we finish up on that, because nothing drastic has changed. Again, Hadji, Hollander, long term, you're looking at probably January before you see them back in the starting 11 playing week in, week out. And of course then you've got Roof, question mark. Don't know what's going on there, and Ben Davies remains a doubt for the game, but fingers crossed we see him at some point, because we'll need to get him up to speed as well. He's supposed to be our guy now, and he's just been a wee bit unlucky again. He's not an injury prone player or anything like that, but just Son seems to go there, and again the same with John Souttar as he remains out of the team, so I think it picks itself at the back if I'm honest. James Sands, who again is one of the quicker centre backs in our team, and for me had a decent game, and in fact a good game on Tuesday night, so I wouldn't be too sorry if it is Sands starting at centre back, chasing down and hopefully adding that pace to the back line. And with that being said, that's reached the end of today's video. That's the oppositional preview. That is the Rangers conversation, with the main conversation point being, for me, the set piece defending, and Gio actually saying he won't change it. He's sticking with the zonal marking. I'd love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on that. And to wrap up the video, all we need to do now is try to predict the game of football. Now, I know it might be a bit of a cop-out to go back-to-back channel favourites, but if there was ever a game to scream 2-1 to me, it's this one, the more, so I'll go with Rangers 2, Hibs 1, goal scorers Čolak, of course, and possibly Tavernier doing it, but Alfredo does love a goal versus Hibs, so it's certainly wide open, but Čolak's my man for me if he ends up starting. And that's the end of today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully it's a successful Saturday and I see you smiling in not too long, but until then, take care of yourselves, all the best. Happy to see you, I'll see you tomorrow after the game, and bye.